Hello, my name's Wildy and welcome to the GWILT Show. I am joined by the Gaz-Man. How are you doing today, Gaz?
Very well indeed. Always looking forward to doing these shows with you. Let's get it going.
Perfect, man. It's good to see you as well. Now, let's kind of do a quick little roundup of where we were last at. So we basically got up to this point here where we were past all these blues, which are all just preseason predictions, and we kind of got up to this point. So I think we will come back to these, double check some earlier as well before we move on. But I wanted to start with one of our, just something that's come up this week. And Cal Toomey, breaking the news this week, has shared that he thinks there is going to be changes to the AFL draft coming up, potentially even this year, mate. Now, you and I are both obviously supporting clubs that we assume are going to make the top four, being St Kilda and Adelaide. So this probably doesn't affect us too much, right? But otherwise, what do you think? Have you heard much about this in the first place?
Yeah, so the key part of this, which I saw people debating online without reading the article, was the compensation pick for any selections in the top five that were compromised by academy bids. So to take a random example, last year with West Coast having to push their pick back in the top five, I think they got Cooper Duff-Titler with that pick. They would have gotten extra compensation pick as a result at the end of the first round if these new rules had been applied. Now, what everyone is not understanding about this rule, because last year West Coast had two picks in the top five that were pushed back because one of them was a free agency compo. There is a limit of one pick per club with this. So if your club had, say, pick 2 and 3 in this year's draft, with pick 2 you wanted to go for Cody Walker, but Carlton say, no, we're going to get him, you'll get pushed back with both of those picks. They're still in the top five. But you'll get one compensation for one of those pushback picks at the end of the first round. You won't get them for both of your picks that are in the top five there, just one.
That is correct. Now, I have a bit of a different opinion here compared to some. Now, I just spoke quickly with Dylan Alexander. He's also got slightly different opinions, but interesting nonetheless. He brought up Dylan Patterson last year, in which the club Richmond, right, had a top five pick that they pushed back, and then got a player that they were kind of expecting to in the first place. So essentially, they could basically determine whether they wanted to get an extra pick or not, right? Because if they knew that they couldn't get Dylan Patterson, which they knew they couldn't, under the new circumstances, they'd get a draft compensation. Under the old circumstances, it didn't change much, to be fair. So I think it's a little bit not great that clubs can decide now that they're going to get another pick. There's also another aspect that I don't like about this. The fact that this only applies to the top five picks, because pick 6 and 7, right? They're still outside of the top 10 at this stage.
Yeah, they'll be 13,
no compensation. Yeah, exactly. They get no compensation for any picks above them. And then should a club get a compensation pick because they had a pick taken above them and they slide back in 6 or 7, they also have another pick jump in front of their second pick.
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't see what this is fixing, because I think the problem, and if I'm not mistaken, the problem is that access to the best talent in the draft is not accessible by the worst clubs. And this just does not fix that. It simply doesn't. And I'm yet to hear an argument that even makes a lick of sense, to be honest with you. So
Because there is none. Like
there,
it's you want to make those players harder to get for the academy clubs and for the father son picks. What you've got to do is you've got to alter the draft pick values so that it costs way the hell more, rather than Brisbane being able to get like 5 picks in the 40s and 50s traded in and then just splurge all those to get pick 3 for Daniel Annable or something like that. That's what's got to be fixed.
look, fair, and I tend to agree, in the sense that I see this as getting further away from the solution to me. And the solution to me is removing all academies. And I know I'm wearing a St Kilda jumper here, and I'm probably wearing my St Kilda hat at the same time. But it comes down to the idea of, if we want to have academies exist, let every club have them, and we may as well just go back to zones in at the same time.
Yes, thank you, because the reason why they
moved
got
away from it
was for a good reason, because it was killing the entire competitive balance of the AFL, and now it's coming back. Now you're seeing Brisbane, now you're seeing Sydney dominate. I personally think that the academy should be just run independently, either by the AFL or by some other organisation, and then because that will generate the playing interest in those regions, because that's what they're there for. They're there to generate playing interest. They shouldn't be there to feed particular clubs. So feed the playing interest, and then those players can be just evenly distributed out to the draft.
I agree. Now, we do, by the looks of it, have a good friend of the channel here in Pommy and Oz, and I think he might have a difference of opinion. So let's quickly go over it. Now, Pommy says, controversial with this. He seems to love it. Anyone against it doesn't understand how the AFL equalisation should work. So effectively, it's to compensate you for being only able to draft the third best player with pick 2. I understand that, definitely. I just think it gets further away from the answer of, give the team that has pick 2 the second best player that they want. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills when I say these to people,
And as someone who supports a club who's been a tiny bit of a victim with this, the 2020 draft, where we had the number 1 pick and didn't get to use it, I don't think an extra pick in the 20s or whenever it would have been would have necessarily helped us recover with that, because pick 20 is very much a shot in the dark. Like your percentage of landing an absolute superstar there is way lower than a pick 2 or a pick 3. So I think I can see the logic behind that's why they're thinking of it.
I get Pommy's point. It feels like we're trying to exist within the current structure with what Pommy's saying, and I'm saying the current structure is completely wrong.
Pommy's raising actually a decent point in that extra pick could essentially be used for trade currency, which, I mean, that's not necessarily I don't mind that.
Look, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul for me, because you're taking away currency from a ton of other clubs to give it to a club that has had currency taken away from them by a club that shouldn't have the ability to take currency away from one of the worst clubs. And again, we're solving a problem to keep the current situation going, in which I just think this current situation is wrong in its entirety. Look, Pommy's got a few good points here, and I believe this stream is up in terms of the picks, in terms of the chats afterwards as well. So you can go through here and go through it. He has got a few counter arguments. It does seem to be looking at both sides as well. And we try to do the same here, but look, it's hard when you're one-eyed. That's the case as a Saints fan for sure. But let's try and get back to where we were at. So we've had a bit of a chat about this. Let's get back to where we're at. So let's move back to here. We were at this point. So I wanted to move on to a statement that Sam McClure had said, because I finally started tracking some of his things more closely. And he said he cannot see Zach Merritt signing this year in relation to the contract that was offered by the Bombers. Mate, do you think Zach Merritt is signing on the dotted line at the end of the season or not?
I'm not sure. Hi to Code Word, by the way, big figure around the Gaz-Man channel. Um, oh yeah, it's something that I can't really. I mean, he has just been integrated with the leadership group yesterday, so there's steps being taken to mend that relationship. But I mean, if I'm him, I've got to be a mercenary at this point because you've given service to Essendon at this point. They're not going to get any better. You go to Hawthorn, you're going to help them get better. You're going to add outside run, and you're probably going to help them win a flag. I'm going to Hawthorn if I'm him.
Look, I agree with you. If I'm Zach Merritt, I'm out the door still. But that being said, would you take an extra $500,000 a year, or would you rather a pay cut at this stage at in your career? So it's a tough choice for him. I can see that. Now we've done the major drafting. I wanted to get to this one. Gary Lyon reckons the 100 goals is on the cards again, and he reckons the player to do it is going to be Jack Gunston.
I didn't want to twist his words. That was a direct quote from him on SEN, I think, with Tim Watson. Yes, Gunston's had a terrific start, but we have the same conversation every year when a forward has a great start. We think, oh, hundreds on the cards. It happened with Jesse Hogan. It happened with Jeremy Cameron. They didn't get there, and I don't think Gunston's quite got the legs. Very good kick for goal. Don't think he's got the legs to see it out.
I tend to agree. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last year was his greatest goal kicking year. And look, maybe trends continue, but I would be surprised if he managed to hit the triple digits. I'd be leaning more towards, one of your big men in Phil Thorpe, or maybe a Sam Darcy if he can actually start clunking them and kicking them straight. But I still don't reckon 100's quite on the cards.
I think a Ben King's probably more likely, just with the
That's a good one.
Just with the fact that he's so close to goal constantly. With Phil Thorpe and Darcy, they tend to play. They can play that high half forward / second ruck role, which does take them out of the goal mouth. I think King will get close at his current rate. Yeah, and I think Code Word's correct there. He's the more likely candidate. I think he hits 85. I don't think he gets to the 100, but I think he's the best chance.
Well, interesting little fact. I'm not sure if it's still maintaining, but there was a period this season in which Ben King was kicking a goal for every 2 kicks that he did. So I happen to know Ben King roughly averages about 300 or so kicks a game, 300 or so kicks a year. If he were to maintain that, he could quite well get to there, and he might even push the all-time goal kicking record. But
that being said, now he's 16-1 off 18.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's only not scored with 1 kick. It's ridiculous.
It's got to be like the... Anyway, all right. So we do have to get Pommy in for a chat. I've been meaning to chat to him more as well, but one time we will definitely reach out to you to get you in here to get your more to get your opinions across a bit more thoroughly, Pom. That is for sure. But let's move on to the next one. Now, Tom Edwards and Jordan Ridley to return to the VFL in 2 weeks, 28th to 29th. I am going to go... Ooh, what's going on? Oh, I'm in the wrong account. That's all right. I'll fix that one up later. This one is going to become a doubly. So we're gonna come back to that one because we're not letting them get away with these double statements anymore. You can't say both players and then we give you, a getaway on getting one of them wrong. It's not happening.
No,
so I just wanted to. Yeah, no. If we can get a full straight answer down the line either way, we will take that. So we're gonna move on though. We've got the return of Bobby Hill to their facility in official capacities is not too far away. We've got imminently, and back to the facility here by Sam Edmund. I guess the question is, what is imminent, right? Like, how is he back training yet? I'm not sure that is.
I believe so. Swoop Luke managed to come up with some footage of what looked to be Bobby Hill in a low contact scrimmage. So or just
Okay.
sort of generally running around the session. So I think he's nailed that. That was about a week ago, and I reckon the Swoop Luke
Righty,
footage came
yeah.
out maybe 3 days ago.
Yeah. All right. So we've got what selection here? That's perfect. I reckon he's nailed it then. Let's give it a confirmation. Oh, I don't have permissions to tick that. I'm in the wrong account, but I've confirmed it. We'll tick that off at the end. I'll get you to go through and tick some of these.
I'll grab that one for you.
That'd be great, mate. Now, next one, we've got Nathan Schmook. Hayden Young ruled out for the Melbourne game. Again, we've got it confirmed there. Wait, that was the Melbourne game. Did he end up playing the Melbourne game?
I can't actually remember. I'm looking at the lineups now, and I cannot see his. I can't see his name, but I'm sort of scanning quite quickly.
No, I think you might be right.
Hayden Young was out, replaced by Christopher Sherry, who had a great game.
I feel like that's the worst spelling of Sherry possible. Like, we already had a difficult one with X as beginning it. We didn't really need the SCERRI. I don't know. For me, he's very close to being called Scary Terry, and I don't even know his first name and if it's Terry or not. But we're going to move on because we've got the answer.
Sadly, it's Chris, which is the least scary name in the world, but really great Rick and Morty Season 2, Paul. Great job.
Thank you. Now, Hayden Young won't miss any games. Likely a test this week. Rhino Daniel's gone. Busted. Sorry, mate. This is why you got to be careful with what you put out on the line. It could come back not good, Anyway, we'll move on. Now, we'll go through some of these yellow ones as we are expecting to have an answer for these ones. So, Isaac Heaney will not face the Hawks. I believe that is confirmed, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. So, we will send that through. We had Nathan Schmook with Elijah Hewitt to a return in round 3. Well, it's not round 3 yet, so that is... We will wait.
Yeah, I might have gone a bit early because I saw a big thing today saying, team's out, but that's for the Geelong-Adelaide game, so we won't find that out until probably tomorrow.
It's tricked me every week this season. Every bloody week. I get to a Wednesday and I'm like, I missed the teams. And then it does my head in. Anyway, Harry Edwards to face North after completing concussion protocols. I believe that's busted. I believe he's out of the side this week. Am I wrong?
That was for last week's game, and he did face North after exiting concussion protocols, only to go straight back into them again, thanks to one of his teammates, I believe. It was a nasty little knock.
Yeah. I knew there was something there, but I thought this was a different date.
Oh yeah, I confused that. I put confusing wording in there, but I also sort of chucked that in there to give us a bit of a talking point.
Fair.
That poor fella.
But we will move on to one of my goats, Cal Wilkie. All good to return against the Giants alongside Roe Marshall. Now, I do wonder what this is referencing, to be fair. So I'm going to pull it up because I don't think Cal Wilkie ever had any issues from memory. Can't remember. I'm going to double check it.
Yeah.
Cal Wilkie spent some
just
time.
Make sure they're both playing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely played. I just can't remember what problem he has or had. Because if I'm not mistaken, he has spent 100% of the season playing and is the only player to do so. I
think he might have had a bit of tightness at the end of the last, not the Giants game, but the one before, potentially.
Maybe. Yeah. In fact, yes, he did. He did get a cramp towards the end. So you are right. Okay. Well, they were correct. A bit confused because it's not a balls on the line
the size of a sun, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not a balls on the line. Charlie Banfield, chance to make a debut. Well, he didn't. And he also broke his shoulder in some regard. So he is out for a while, unfortunately. But he does look good. I mean, I've seen a little bit of him play. Not as much as I would like, as the VFL has only become viewable this past week. But I do like what I've seen so far. I think he could be a good player.
definitely top 2 Banfields in the AFL right now.
I think you might be right. Let's move on. Greg's wanting to sort out the fixture for next year to make it start better. I am going to say that's just fucking busted now. Like, there is no fucking way. Like, you expect me to believe that these fuckheads are going to improve anything? No, not a chance. That one's busted.
Hope on that one with Tim Watson not wanting to upset his friend was hilarious.
Yeah. Man, just some people in the media just suck ass so much. Anyway, Will Day to return around mid-season bye. Yeah, that's going to be a while off. So we've got Nick Watson suffering from a hamstring or thigh issue during Essendon game. Ended up being a hip. All right.
So
what do we say?
Ralphie, I'm going to say Ralphie was incorrect there because if that shin bone connected to the knee bone song taught me anything, the hip is not the hamstring or thigh.
You know what? You are right. You are right. I feel mean saying it's fully busted, but it's you're right.
And he came back.
You're right.
So
yeah, that's a good point actually as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. Well, yeah, fully busted. So we've got a few more down here that you have smashed out in the hour or so before this meeting. So let's wind our way back up to the top, go over any we might have missed that we might have answers to at this point, and come back to some of the newer claims. Now, at the very top, we had a few pending. We had a 50-50 Sam Walsh to land 7-year deal. We give it a 50-50 because I believe it was a 6-year deal. We've got a few pendings here. These are going to be end of years with women's representative football. Have we heard anything about that yet?
I haven't seen anything yet, but you know the AFL with the women's game, they're going to make a decision about 6 minutes out from the start of it, and they're gonna unnecessarily rush it because they're not prioritizing it at all because they're idiots. It's going to be that sort of thing. I fear.
I'm worried for Xander because I feel like this is one of those ones where he would have gotten told this by a very reliable source. But because this is just not nobody, it's not that we don't give a fuck. It's that people inside the AFL world seem to not give a fuck about women's representative football. So that was probably a pie in the sky idea, and he might end up getting busted from that one, unfortunately. But that's the game. That is the game. Blake Acres does not require surgery, available for round 1. We've got Pommy in the chat. We had a 50-50 on this, Pom. What do you think is the answer with that? Is it fully busted, or what do you think, mate? We've got Pommy down here. He also corrected us that it was actually an 8-year deal, not a 7-year deal. But Pom,
and thank you for the very kind words as well, Pommy. Cheers for that.
He's on the money too. He definitely is. Now, with this, I am praying he's still in here, because if not, we might be sitting here waiting for a while.
Well, in the meantime, there is one we can. Oh no, sorry. I think I'm cutting ahead of you here.
No, go.
So I've just seen Pommy's reply. What was the question? I just flushed the toilet, he says. Absolutely gold.
Yeah, fair. Now, Pommy, we had Josh Gabelich say Acres does not require surgery and will be available for round 1. We left it on a 50-50 because I'm not even sure we knew the answer, to be honest with you, mate. So it's a bit of a two double up. Did he require surgery in 1? And I'm pretty sure he didn't make round 1, but I'm not sure. Oh, this isn't. Yeah. Yeah, mate. I know. Yep.
We're going to have to split that one up.
Yep.
That's rough on Ralphie. But
yeah. Okay. That's a double. That becomes a double. It is delayed. Wasn't just a calf sprain.
And we've got confirmation from Pommy. He wasn't available round 1, but he did avoid surgery. So That's
Okay,
going to
I
be
think we're
another
going to have to
split.
double that. Yeah, split
Yeah,
them as well.
I'll take care of that one. Very much a
Yeah,
case
look, that could well be
of
the
fucking with
case. Code word killer out here. Code word the serial killer rather. Out here just speaking about my nightmares. Now we're gonna move on. Let's go going because I want to spend as little time thinking about Max King's knee as possible. Let's go down the list. Jackson Archer to get a 2-year contract extension. I'm gonna
That's
search
been
that one because I don't
confirmed.
think I've heard. It
That
has.
has been
Okay.
confirmed.
Nice.
I can report someone else is reporting that he is signed until the end of whatever's 2 years from his end of deal.
That's good. I mean, good on him. I think he's a good player. Like, I haven't seen him play in about a year from injury or something, but what I have seen, I like him. So I'm glad to get that. We will. Yeah, exactly right. I'll get you to come past and approve that one there, mate. We've got another one. This 50-50 injury, it's so annoying. I'm giving it a busted. Screw it. He didn't get it right. Kane Corns doesn't get freebies.
Yep.
Screw Kane.
I agree. It's because we've had to watch so much of him this week.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, we're going to give this one the cold, icy blue. We'll come back to that towards the end of the year to figure out if Nick Dacos actually spent more time forward in 2026 or not. But we'll go down to these. These are all pending as they are predictions. Wayne Dirksen to make a chance. We should probably fix this one up as well. We'll come back and get that boy as well. Green. But let's double check. Christian Petrarca, best on field opening round. I mean, that will be. Is that a prediction? I feel like. Anyway.
I feel like we could almost confirm it now because he got 10 coaches' votes. But
that's true.
I was more waiting on the Brownlow vote.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like he's talking more about Brownlow votes because we would have had the coaches' votes available for that. So.
True, and like no one really says when you say BOG, you think 3 votes, you don't think 10.
Yeah, exactly. Let's put that in the royal blue. We'll come back to that at the end of the year when we can defrost all these blues. And geez, we've got a bunch of yellows to deal with, don't we? All right, so let's go back over the yellows, see what we've missed or not. Now, Heaney cleared of serious hamstring damage, unlikely to feature against the Hawks. I don't know if that's correct. Is it?
Oh, I would say.
What do we call
he hasn't got serious damage? I would say something like a Cal Archie or a Christian Petrarca, like a month or more is serious. I would say he had more of a strain, maybe.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with Pommy here as well.
I was going to say, laughing at Codeword's comment there. 3 votes in that. 3 votes in that Petrarca game probably end up going to Cripps or someone stupid.
Mate, now that they've got stats, it's gonna be so bad. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna wait until I do a big thing on that. Anyway, Heaney, I feel like we'll pend it because he's not back from his hamstring yet, is he? Like he's still got
I feel like if he returns next game, I feel like we can call that not serious.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Mansell out to 3 to 4 weeks. We've got a bit of time up our sleeve. Vlosten and Presti are available for Gold Coast round 2. I believe that was correct, and they both played.
Yep. Can confirm. And, Presti in particular played pretty well.
Yeah, he did. Vlosten wasn't bad, but, I mean, that's pretty stock standard for Vlosten, to be fair. Yeah. Now, 4 months for Gordon, that's, we've confirmed it. Maybe he is back a little bit early, but we're going to confirm that early. A strong desire to play Adelaide in the to play State of Origin in Adelaide next year. I still feel like that's an odd one, but it's blue for now because we haven't got confirmation. Yep. We'll skip over half of these ones. We've confirmed some of them anyway. We really need to know more about the drug paraphernalia. We haven't heard enough from Dylan Moore yet and his drug taking ways, so we need to know more about that.
Media dropped that like a hot snake in the grass.
I know they haven't touched it at all. It's stunning. Now, North's pass mark for 11 wins. We'll come back to that. Darcy Moore to return the match after the bye. Now, I believe that will be correct. We are waiting on teams tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
Codeword
like
has said that. Yeah, Codeword with a comment here. Moore apparently is confirmed to return.
See, we would take you on this one, Codeword, but the last person we took their word for this was Xander Maguire, and he was completely wrong. He got busted. So we'll give it a day. We'll give it a day, mate. But I think you are right. I do think you're right. Now, let's move to the next one. We've got Mitch Edwards to debut against the Dockers. We actually already confirmed that. Same with Lincoln McCarthy. Now.
Yeah.
Hal Toomey.
Oh boy, this is going to be his first red mark.
The golden
I don't
boy.
like this.
The golden boy. He was meant to lead us towards the promised land if Journo's telling the truth. It's busted.
He's gone bold. I was going to say, this wasn't even a bold call. They're up against West Coast Essendon, and I don't even know who they've got in the fourth week, but it's another tomato can. Like, oh.
Why would you do it, Cal? Why would you do it?
I'm devastated.
All right. Move on. Right. Now, Nathan Schmook did say Toby Murray would hold his spot against the Isaac Rankin and the other people that might take his spots. Now, I believe he held his spot. You are the resident Adelaide man here. Was that correct, mate?
He did not. He, I believe, pretty much right after Nathan Schmook said this, I don't know if it was right after or not, but Toby Murray hurt his back and did not play. Thus, we had to have.
That's tough.
We didn't have a second ruck in that game, so
yeah,
that is rough on Schmooky, but he did fire his shot, and I respect him. But unfortunately, Murray did not play.
Collingwood have said it on their Insta. To be fair, with the Moore one. All right. Well, we might double check that one, and if that's the case, we might just save ourselves some time. We'll come back to that in a second. Isaac Kako to return against Port, a tall forward to be dropped. I'm not sure that a tall forward was dropped, but I am sure that Kako returned. Do we know that the tall forward was dropped?
I'm looking up that right now. Archer May was omitted. Tall forward indeed. That is a masterful call.
See, this is almost... He almost deserves 2 for that. He almost deserves 2 for that.
That was because a good call.
We normally break them up to make it like, they get their one, they get their wrong one, their right one. If they get more wrong than right, we split it up right. I know we're mostly doing percentage, but I can see at the end of the year this coming down to the wire, mate. And maybe Dejan is there. So I think we got to give him an extra point, to be fair.
I wouldn't be mad with that.
I think it's the right thing to do. So we'll give this a green as well. We'll make sure if we don't get that right now, we will come back to it. But let's go on to some of these other yellows. Now, these 3 are busted. We've got 2 here. Oh, that's a frosty one. Why would you even say that, Cal? That's Tom Morris. Okay, that's fine.
Tom Morris, yeah.
That's I was like, what? Cal, why would you give a percentile on a somebody's going to stay or not? That's almost immediately busted. Anyway, let's go through these ones. So we have Elijah Hewitt to return in round 3. We'll figure that one out this week. Actually, are they playing early? No, they're playing later in the week, aren't they? Yeah, that's right. All right. We can't, unfortunately, do any of these. They're all organised already. Now, will Day turn around mid-season bye? We will give that a frosty. And we're down to the new ones, mate. Now that we're at the new ones, you've pretty much been in charge of this at this point. What has stood out to you this week? What do you think's been one of the bigger ones?
That's a really, really good question. I did see Tim Watson had a big call, and I've decided to include him. Even though wouldn't really call him a journalist, but he said Adelaide keeping Gather Round with their contract for the event up this year. He said it was a 100% chance. He thinks it's certain to happen. 100%, he said. None of this 60%
We are coming
nonsense.
back to this one. We are
So
coming
we
back
will
to
come
this
back to
one.
that. But obviously, the big news.
Well done by
big news
Tim
is the
Watson as
hamstring.
well.
The big news are all the hamstring injuries, and it'll be very interesting to see if all of these time frames will be correct in terms of their guesswork.
See, that's where these journos come unstuck. They give themselves benefits, and then they open themselves up to a busted. Now, I've noticed one.
Yeah, I'm unapologetically a Josh Laurel stan here.
I've noticed a couple. All right. So there was actually one that I noticed that I knew the answer to. Now, Mitch Cleary has gone with Patrick Dangerfield will miss the Crows with a hammy touch and go for Easter Monday. Now, we do know he will miss the Crows. That has been, well, if we're going to, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's like Darcy Moore, it's all but confirmed.
They've named the lineups for that game, so he is confirmed, like 100% confirmed gone.
Oh, okay. See, I am always behind a ball, mate. I'm never quite sure what's going on. Now, this one's awful. I hate to see Caminiti miss 6 weeks with a hamstring injury, but yep. And he's gone up to 6 weeks. I hate the cheap language that they're pulling out.
He's bought himself a big window, which I kind of respect the massive parachutes being deployed very early.
Honestly, it's so smart, and I'm stunned that no other journalists have even. This is the first time I've seen this move pulled all year, and it's genius. It's genuinely so smart. Like, you've given yourself an actual window that's huge, and there's no 60% bullshit. There's none of these things that really open yourself up to trouble. This is opening yourself up to success. I like this call a lot. Now, we've got a few chats in the comment. We hate the chance calls. Just say yes or no. Exactly right, Pom, mate. Like, this is what we mean. These guys just need to take a position. Now, Danger has had a hammy issue every year. You are correct. He is 135 years old. So that is the case. Pendles was around in the Vic Cumberland.
Shout out to Melbourne 1900 Premiership winner Vic Cumberland. Someone's been watching my Saints series.
That they have. More than me, because I forgot he was a Saints man, to be honest. I just remember the name.
To be fair, I think he last played for them in 1914.
Yeah, you'd think I'd be across it. You know? Yeah, exactly. But let's quickly go through some of these. Now, Petrarca out 4 to 6 weeks. Can't really make a call yet. Redman out 4 to 6. Look, I like these ranges. If you're going to give yourself a definite range, I don't mind it. Yeah. Give yourself a percentile, you're almost guaranteeing a busted. So, Tom Morris, need you to learn from that, right? So, you've done the wrong way, you've done the right way. Let's just move on from here. Now, Sarah Black, Tom Brown, Richmond, if you didn't know, because I did know, actually, to switch forward in the second half versus the Suns. Now, I didn't actually watch a ton of the second half. Do you know what ended up happening with this mid-match call?
I did, and I'm getting up the tracker here. Now, I didn't see a lot of Tom Brown in the second half because he didn't really get much of the ball. But thankfully, on the AFL website, there's these handy-dandy trackers here that give us where he got the ball, and indeed 100% possession in the forward half in the second half. All three of his touches were in the forward half. So I feel like that is one hell of a call from Sarah Black, and I feel like we got to give her a tick on that.
That's great work from Sarah Black. These sort of mid-match calls. Areas. They're the most balls on the line call you can make because you've got seconds till it's wrong. You could be called out before the end of the quarter that you're wrong. but she put them on the line and she got it right. And I think she needed to as well. So she needs a couple of big wins, and this is well and truly getting her towards the area she wants to be. Now,
and I think come AFLW season, she'll come into her own too.
There's a good chance of that. Now, we've got Cal Cheese hamstring, a medium grade. I don't love these medium grade and long grade calls. Tommy, you're flirting with just pissing me off and getting it busted. I'm putting it out there. But
well, you'll love this. The very next article on there, Josh Gabalik, apparently scans confirmed it's a high-grade tear.
Fucking God.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I don't mean to, it's a really, they're just such bad calls. Like, just go for a week's amount. Like, put your balls on the line. Because you were almost about to get busted anyway, and then you got busted in it anyway. So just go for the real gold, but you're going to get me started with these journos. Yeah, look, this could get confusing later in the season. As we get more Richmond stories and more stories from Tom Brown, this could become troublesome. But we'll try to do our best. Now, moving down the list, we have got Libba to miss 2 games, specifically 2 games. Mark Stevens, love it, mate. Love the call. Just
even listed the opponents. Loved
it. You reckon? I reckon we might have a fan out there, mate. Just saying. He knows the format. He knows list the games, list when they're back so we don't forget because we're stupid. And, put your balls on the line. That's what we want here, mate. That is what we want. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it from Mark Stevens. Well done, mate. We've got Josh Money with a back-to-backer. Jordan Dawson won't face the Cats calf issue. Josh Worrell will play the Cats game. This will be interesting. All comes down to the line tomorrow, mate. We unfortunately don't know this yet, but
are we trusting the lineups that have come out today?
Is there lineups for Adelaide today?
There are lineups because it's tomorrow night.
Oh, see, I'm getting my games confused again.
Normally we're on Tuesday. Yeah.
No, I'm getting confused. Apologies. So, are they both correct then?
Yep, because Worrell is listed at centre half back here, and Dawson is out. Which we're going to lose, and we're going to lose badly.
You never know, mate. You never know. All right, and it's Geelong. In Geelong, I don't think you've won there for since 2003.
Yeah, it's something like 20 years. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's 2003. I can see you. Don't worry. It's all right. If the Saints can beat the back-to-back premiers, mate, which we are, of course, going to do, you can break this hoodoo. That's fine. Now, we're going to move on to Gemma Bastiani. Peter Adams offered a 1-match suspension with an early plea. I actually have no idea what happened with this. Do you have any clue?
This one was an interesting one because he did get offered a 1-match ban with an early plea, but he didn't take it. And I think he tried. From what I've seen, he's been suspended for 2 weeks. So technically, Gemma's correct in that he did get offered a 1-match ban. She called this before the official announcement, I believe. So I feel like she gets correct there, but Peter Laddam's doing Peter Laddam's things and just making
somehow coming up with the stupidest outcome possible. No, I get you.
Very Peter Laddams. Very Peter Laddams.
Fuck, I remember getting him in. I can't even remember which year it was in Supercoach, but one year in Supercoach, he started to pop at some point in the season. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get this guy. So I watched him for the rest of that season, and he has not gotten an iota better. And I don't mean that meanly, but nothing has changed in that dude's life, apart from clubs. Anyway, Gold Coast will challenge Bailey Humphrey ban. I believe they did. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that leads into a David Zeta one later on down the line, which I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we'll be revisiting Bailey Humphrey in a sec.
Interesting. Well, stay tuned, folks. Now we've got Cal Toomey back. And look, Golden Boy, we need something from you here. Ben King to stay in Gold Coast. It's the easiest decision in football. That's balls on the line. I like it. I do. It's a frosty one. We're gonna have to come back to it.
Yeah.
We got to.
It's
We got
no
to frosty
60%. It's no 60% call. I like it.
Exactly right. Now we've got another one here. Really, really painful because I loved what this kid could do in the underages, and I wanted to see more. Dan Annable to miss 4 months with, I believe it was a knee. I actually can't remember, but it seems like that's going to be correct. I mean, yeah, if we're going to give Goulden the call that's correct already, I think we got to give this one too, unfortunately.
And we can always come back and change it later if he miraculously makes an early comeback. Fingers crossed.
That is true. That is true. Now, we've got something back to you again, and we've got a double for you. Luke Nankervis to fill the void on the wing left by Cal Archie, and Mitch Hinge only 1 week away. Now, Hinge, we're not too sure about, but Luke Nankervis, mate, do you think he is coming in for Archie?
He has been named. He is in the squad. So looks as if from the players that we brought in, Taylor's probably going to play out forward. Bond will definitely play down back. Marley will play up forward. I'm being mean, but I don't really. It's a different issue. I'm not going into how I don't really think Marley's the answer at the moment. But yeah, Nank will probably play a lot of wing there, so he'll be playing that role.
Okay, well that's good. I just kicked the camera stand and that really hurt. I'm trying to hold it together so bad.
You're gonna do Will Green, you know? You know he broke his toe last week.
Oh yeah. Honestly, could have done the same thing. Then that really hurt. All right, Zach Taylor to replace Jordan Dawson. Charlie Edwards will not debut. Gaz-Man, damn it. Hang on. This has got a few things going on. Zach Taylor to replace Jordan Dawson. First up, do we know if that's good? I feel like I don't even know if he made the team. Hang on.
He has made the team. He's been named.
Okay. Would you say he's kind of replacing Jordan Dawson?
I would say yes, because Marley was already named. Nank was the replacement for Archie. Laird coming out. Bond's basically the direct replacement. So logically, Dawson, Taylor, they're not the same role, but now, just based on swap for swap.
Yeah, of course. Now, Braden has fallen trapped to what I think a few of the young journos will in this sort of situation, right? Now, he's gone a double statement. Now, I'm almost gonna rescind this for the future because I think you need to make your statements one by one, right? So, double statements down the track, if you're getting both of them correct, you might only get one right. We might only give you one confirmed. But because you're a younger journo, haven't made as many statements so far, and both were correct, I feel like we got to give him a double correct here.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
I think that it was an interesting call because Edwards has been tearing it up and he is a proper mid, whereas Taylor wasn't necessarily a like for like. So there was a chance that Edwards would be the call, but yeah, so I think the degree of difficulty could be enough to justify it too.
Look, for now, especially with these ones that don't have many on the board, sure, we'll split them, we'll give you double wins, that sort of thing. But as we get into the back nine of the season, I think we gotta think about this because if you're doing this too often just to get those double ticks, I'm not sure I like it.
We don't want to see them
make your statements. Yeah, exactly. Don't just come out here with 4 statements you know are correct, slam them out, so we've got to give you 4 ticks. I'm not a fan of that. So we'll keep moving. Now, John Ralph says Gold Coast will match any bid for Ben King, no matter how high. Now, we obviously can't know, so we'll frosty that. But at the same time, mate, we're just having a little list chat right here. Do you think, I think you've got a rough idea of Cap's numbers. Do you think Ben King is worth 2-point-something million?
I've seen 1.4 as the minimum, and I really like the type of forward that Ben King is. I love the big meathead that stays in the goal square and whose only word that he knows in his entire lexicon are me kick goal. But I don't want to be giving that player a ton of money when guys like Phil Thorpe and Darcy and um, all these sorts of guys are a lot more versatile. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be paying 2 million for him, and I feel like Collingwood's really got the cap space left to drive the price up to a point where Gold Coast have either got to say no, he's yours, or wear what could be a really, really huge deal.
Yep. I mean, this is my thoughts. Is I think he's almost destined to come to Melbourne due to the numbers that he'll probably receive. That being said, if he wants to keep enjoying life out of the limelight, maybe even get a premiership one day, he could stay up there and still earn a pretty penny. But we have got somebody down here saying, yeah,
yeah, because he's a Collingwood fan, he's across it. Yeah, that is interesting. Is it all going to the veterans? Because I can't
that
really
being said,
imagine
there's a few
who
coming
else
off
that
the
goes to,
list.
maybe Dacos. Dacos will be chewing up a lot of money.
They will need to save a little bit for him as well.
Yeah, true. And the Butters, if they want Butters too, I don't know where his location's going to be. I'm not sure if Collingwood are readying a bid for him, but I think
I'm pretty sure
probably ate
that's
up quite a lot of
Bulldogs or Geelong, to be honest. But you know,
That is a
well, yes and no. I think it's pretty confidently Bulldogs or Geelong.
Stay is not on 600K. Oh,
see, that's almost not even that
deal.
bad. No, like it's not great, but like where like prices are going in footy, it's not that absurdly bad. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not as bad as what Petty's probably getting.
Yeah, and then Houston on $1 million. That's insane.
That's less of a surprise, but that seems like too much. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, he was great at Port. He was great at Port, but I think he relishes in a particular role. Considering the sort of players that I can think that were getting $1 million, like I know, like Jeremy McGovern, he was on about 1.1 reportedly when he was retiring. That's the sort of $1 million player that I.
Man, I believe Dusty
when I
at
think
his
$1 million
peak was only on 1.3. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Nathan Broad out for a week with a calf, should return round 4. We will have to come back to that one. Finbar Malley to make his debut against Geelong, and this is confirmed, mate. Josh Money. Ooh. He's doing a lot of the. I reckon.
He's doing a lot of the small ball work around Adelaide. He's getting the early scoops with pretty much all the selection goss here. So whatever sources he's got, I think he's with Channel 9 here locally.
Yeah.
Whatever sources he's got, they're bloody good. Yeah, exactly, Cobo. Josh is right on the money.
He is exactly on the money and low key making a charge towards the top. I'll be honest. Rory Lard to miss the Geelong game with a calf. Now, I think we got to confirm that because obviously it's correct, but
it is confirmed.
I think we got to keep an eye out on Money just to make sure he's not going late on this one because I feel like most people kind of knew that one pretty much straight away. Now, we'll give him that one. We'll definitely give him that one. Now, Josh Gablich, Anthony Caminamidi to miss up to 6 weeks. It's short enough for us to come back to it and actually confirm it. Patrick Dangerfield to miss the Crows game with a hammy, touch and go for Easter Monday. Now, Mitch, I think we touched on this earlier, but Mitch, you've got to stop with these double statements, mate. They're just they're going to cost you. Is all I've got to say. They're going to cost you one day. Now, Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe to return against GWS. I think this was mentioned earlier that it's basically all been confirmed. So, look, if need be, we'll come back and correct it. But
yeah, I'm happy to do that for now. And yeah,
exactly. Now, Jagger Smith to sign a 3-year deal with the Blues soon. Tricky language with this soon. Let's give it a time frame because I don't like this soonness. Hang on, I'm just gonna
The,
I'll look
the
up the
exact
definition
words
of
were
soon.
on the verge.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to say it is the 25th. Do we give it a week? I reckon we give it a week. I don't think you get much more than a week, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Contracts
all right,
can
so-
move slow, 2 weeks maybe, but like max week and a half. Yeah.
All right, 2 weeks max. 2 weeks. We get. Whoops, that's not how you spell. We're gonna give him 2 weeks, and that's it.
I feel like I'm being
Now,
a bit
Mitch-
charitable with 2 weeks, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is news you're not going to like.
No, I knew about this. In fact, I might know more than Mitch does, to be honest.
Oh.
Now, Mitch, I don't like this. You need to keep. Look, if I've got to send Joey after you, I fucking will. All right. Just putting it out there. You don't fucking talk about St Kilda like that. All right? I'm just saying. All right, now take a big breath. We'll move on because there's no way of knowing that that's correct because we know it's incorrect. He's not going anywhere. Now, Hugh McCluggage out against St Kilda. I think that has been almost confirmed. Again, should probably wait till tomorrow to be sure. And Logan Morris, again, I think that's almost been confirmed, but we should probably wait till tomorrow to be sure. So we will just double check these ones next week when we come back. Make sure we got them. Bailey Humphrey. Now, David Zeta. You got this one right, if I'm not mistaken.
He's going bang. I did see a comment earlier saying, is David Zeta the best tribunal reporter in the game? And I think as long as he's got a convenient chicken schnitzel retailer nearby, I would agree.
I tend to think he might be. Now, we've got another one. That's an oldie. We'll come back to that one a bit later. We've got West Coast begin talks with Ruben Jimby. Is a priority.
I wasn't sure about that one because he hasn't necessarily said anything. I'm happy to strike this one from the record, but he hasn't necessarily said anything.
I reckon we can't give him anything, really, because it's not like it's because we're never going to know.
There's no action that we can verify. Yeah, so I think we strike that one off on reflection.
Yeah, it's just we're going to give that one a Reds. It's just you're going to have to cut it out, Riley. Jeez, mate. Anyway. Now, gather round. We're back to another gather round one. Gary Lyon this time may be extended by 1 year in Adelaide. So Gary Lyon and Tim Watson going into bat with each other. They're trying to make a bit of a partnership here, get a couple of runs on the board. We'll have to wait and see. We've got Josh Money again. Jeez, this man, he's like Steph Curry shooting them from deep. Anyway. Taylor Walker, a strong chance to be rested against the Geelong game. Mate, as I've said a couple of times here, I'm not really across the teams that have been released today. Do you know what the situation is?
I feel like this was another one that a lot of people probably saw coming from a mile away because Marley was when was the Marley news? The Marley news was the day before, and the only person that could have been logically arrested was Tex, and he has been. We all knew generally that Tex might not be risked for interstate games. It is a correct call. It was before the official news came out, and it was before anyone that I've seen. It's
okay.
it's very much
he's
a
low-hanging fruit
shot off the glass, but
yeah, man's walking around picking up strawberries off the ground. That's the kind of fruit he's going for. So. All power to you, Josh. Anyway, we got a K one again. Good. Football umpire earns $200K a year if they're any good.
The highest figure I've seen on average is like 125, 150. And this was very much me listening to this and going, okay, Cornsey, we know you hate your umpires. We know that you want them all to be held accountable, but come on, like.
Maybe Nick Fort, but that's only because he fucking works for Sportsbet and probably bets on all the bullshit. Actually, I didn't say that. I was joking.
For legal reasons.
Not even. Just I was joking. Chill out. Anyway, shit, don't say that. We'll come back to that. I don't know. I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
Every number
not.
that I've seen, because I looked that up today because this is maybe it's a witch hunt, but he did say it. He did say this is verifiably provable information that if you look it up anywhere, I haven't seen anywhere near those numbers. It's 150 max for an average umpire, which is basically what he's
Yeah, I
saying. He's
thought it was
saying
160.
if they're any good, which to me doesn't necessarily mean the best. It means if they're decent enough to do it.
Okay, so
And yeah, code word, you are correct. I think
Reddit.
a lot of them are part time, but I don't think Hornsey's
field
taking
umpires. I can tell you for a fact, umpires in 2012, the umpires have struck a deal that will have the top earners amongst their ranks making as much as $150,000 per season in 2016.
Oh,
So in 10 years, I reckon
that's
13
feasible.
years since this article was published, I think you might actually be right.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see the dates that one was posted when I looked at it, because I think that's the one I looked at. We've got one here. Oh, yeah, that's the top earners, though. That's the thing.
I'm gonna look into this one because I think I've got a few connections
Yeah,
that'll actually give me
I
the
feel like
answer.
that needs a deep dive. That needs a deep dive.
Yeah, I think he's right. To be honest, I didn't think he was, but I thought the max that they could earn was 160. So maybe it's like an extra 70, 80K. I don't know. It's been 10 years since the number that I just said, so wouldn't surprise. Anyway, Nick Newman and Adam Sard both available. Voss definitely gets some relief in the halfback position. I mean, not sure that he'll definitely get relief in the halfback position, but like Nick Newman and Adam Sard will be available for sure. So let's just give him a confirm. I feel like I'm being harsh if I give that one a fucking.
Oh yeah, but for me, the whole definitely get some relief thing was more like, okay, so he's saying that at the very least one of them is going to come in. That's the prediction.
Look, yeah, actually, we don't actually know the things yet. I'm pretty sure that's happening. Reef McInnes will return in the VFL on 27th of March. We'll have to wait and see. I suppose that's coming up. Jordan Ridley and Tom Edwards to return in the VFL on the same weekend, 28th. James Warple should be right to return for round 3. We'll give this one a little yellow to come back to it next week. Lee Kalia leads the race to replace Jack Buckley for round 3. This one's an interesting one because I believe Lee Kalia was injured last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Ooh. But I could be mistaken. And that's happened quite a bit in my life. So that could well be the case. Tom McDonald to replace Daniel Turner. I feel like that's low-hanging fruit that probably goes Allison's way, but we will see. Lockie Jones to replace Bergman. Again, some strawberries on the ground there. Dougal Howard with some more strawberries. Ryan Marrick and Josh Lindsay are leading.
Yeah, that's totally how you spell leading. Yeah. That's okay. That's a great word for me there.
No, my brain was just couldn't figure it out for a second. Leading options to replace Harry Edwards. I feel like that's probably, again, low-hanging fruit on the money. But, Nathan, you can't go with 2 people. I feel like I almost have to give him a bust. Because even if one of them's right, one of them's going to be busted.
Oh, that's an interesting point, yeah. Are we punishing fence sitting?
I feel like we need to because this is bull. You can't say one of 2 players is likely to replace one player because then I could just go, fucking half the team that's in the VFL could replace the one player that's not or playing next week. It just doesn't fucking make sense.
It literally says Ryan Marriage and Josh Lindsay are then options to replace Edwards in the 23. So that's pretty much the exact.
Oh, brother, fuck you! No, you're getting busted. No, pick a fucking lane, mate. Anyway, Mabiachol likely one match ban. I think that was right, but I actually haven't checked anything.
I might
Do you
look
know
that up
what's
now.
going
Oh, that is this is coming up from last year. Free to play. Did not
He
get
is.
suspended.
Good on him. I don't know how I got away with that one, but good on him.
Wow.
I mean, Chol, to be fair.
Oh no! That's a busted. That's a busted because he Jovanovski said they're one match ban based on the
No, you're right. Apologies.
In the article, he says based on the criteria, it's a one match ban. But he let me just double check that to make sure that because I was writing all these down in a little bit of a hurry, so I'm just making sure that is the wording he used because we want to be honest here.
Make sure we want to be honest if the journos aren't, right? They call it journalistic integrity is what they call it.
Here we go.
Just saying.
Here we go. A hypothetical assessment of careless conduct, medium impact and high contact would result in a one-match ban for Chol, who was one of Hawthorn's most potent players on Thursday night. He was indeed.
Man's wrong.
Man is wrong.
Man's wrong. All right, now we've got Ben King, that is, to be offered upwards of 1.4 million a season. I feel like that's probably right, but we'll come back to it at the end of the year. Now, John Ralph and Josh Gablich have got something about Tom Green here. Now, Tom Green from John Ralph is Tasmania's number one target, likely offer of 2.5 million a year if you were to secure him. Jesus.
This is going to be interesting because I'm not sure if that's going to fall within our remit. Because I don't know when Tassie are allowed to start officially poaching. Because I reckon some of the Gold Coast
after.
Yeah, it's the year after, rightio. Yeah. So we might not be able to assess that one. That's my bad. That's my bad there.
No, that's all right. I mean, I like that in some regards. If you're willing to make a call years in advance.
If we do this next year, we can store that away in the cold storage.
This could be like the 2026 leftovers. We'll come back to it. Now, Tom Green could return if GWS make finals. He could bank it back in time. You just can't rule him out this year. Josh, that's just a silly, silly one. You don't need to go at it. They don't even look like they're making finals, mate. Anyway. All right. Well, we've made it to the bottom of the list. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, and we're hoping everybody that's watching here in our 5, missing 100 there, but 5 people that are watching this, we get to the end here and we got data collection. Now that's everything that we tick off on the side here as being confirmed or busted. In fact, we've got a couple of bustards we need to send through there. We just send it through to data collection here, as you've just seen these two pop up. And then they come over to the stats page. And we got some new ones here, guys. So, I feel like we're missing some names. Hang on. We're definitely missing names.
Oh, yeah, because the unique only goes down to cell 26. Hey, let me just chuck that up. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And in fact, I'll need you to drag that down because I can't do that with my computer.
All right. Grand reveal, drum roll, please. Actually, hang on. I've just noticed. Kautumi, I've got the accidental misspell there, so let me just find and replace that.
Yes. Well, that means Cal's on a heater, or it's doubling them because.
Yeah, it's double. Hang on, so let me just replace this sheet. There we go. Jesus.
That's right.
Apparently, there was a lot of times that I'd done that.
That's all right. I think I've probably done it the same. Now, we have got some interesting stuff here. We've got, let's see if we can turn that into a table. Convert the table. There we go. So we've got a table here now. Now, I hate tables. I prefer little charts and nice things, but so we can stay on top of things, we have a table. Now, we want to see who's got the most claims so far. So we're going to go number, actually, we'll just sort A to Z. Oh, fucking hell. Shit.
You're doing great.
Yep, I know, right?
Live view
That's
behind the
also
curtain,
not working
viewers.
great. Yeah, I know. That's also not working great. Why the fuck am I? Hang on.
Is that because we got the unique
It might be. Yeah,
thing there?
that's right. Look, we can do it. We can just not do that. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Now, it's pretty obvious who's at the top anyway, and this is making it a little easier to see for the people watching at home. But we have
And I
got
can do it.
Kaltumi.
Do it
Oh, yeah, well, we're on top of it. Yeah, right, perfect. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, I'll just do a little Excel
copy paste, sure.
badness there. There we go. Now we just saw that from the way. Boom. But just ignore that on the right.
And then we just hide the columns that we were using, and boom, we're back to it. Now, all right. So we've got all these ones. I wonder if we can do that properly now. Pre-built table? Will that work? No, screw it. Can't be bothered. And insert. I feel like that used to just not have to make me do things. I can't be fucked.
That hasn't worked right at all. Actually, that hasn't worked right at all.
No, it's gone on claims. That's fine. Who cares? It's too annoying to set up. it's too hard to set up on the fly. It takes me at least 5 minutes to figure this shit out.
Hang on, because none of our bustards have come through.
Yeah, no, I've noticed. I just noticed that as well. So we'll have to come back to some of these. We've got the accuracy amount though, which is claims and corrects, which is confirmed. So we can do that. Now, Josh Money on a heater. I was saying it before. It might come down to the amount of claims that we're making and how many are confirmed, because we might end up having a few around that 100 mark. Because right now, nearly half of our list is sitting there. Now, it's obviously more on the lower end that haven't made as many claims. We've got one Riley Beveridge here with 5 from 5. Did delete one that wasn't really a claim. But we've got some really good scores here. That being said, Josh Money is a surprise for me, because I've been saying, oh yeah, if I'm a betting man, I'm putting the golden GWILT money straight on Cal Toomey.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
I will say the degree of difficulty from Cal potentially might be a bit higher, because he's called out a couple of contracts at 2 weeks in advance. He's done some high degree of difficulty stuff. So I think while Money's got the fast start now, I think Cal might reel him in with some really big calls later on down the line.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, we want to look at both ends of the spectrum, right? Now, we've seen the hundreds from Josh Money, the Riley Beveridges, the Gemma Bastianis, the Zetas, Jay Clark, Joel Kennedys of the world. It's time to look at the other end. Now, Jack, brother, first claim, we'll give it a pass, mate, especially because you're not making as many claims and you haven't been in the industry as long. Come on, get those numbers up. Let's get a couple correct there. Now, Gary, what do we say about this, mate? Like, how do we deal with Gary with these sort of? I mean, just
we deal with him.
Not even. Well, we've got to do.
You sound like you're going to give him the concrete shoes.
Well, I feel like we've got to do something, because I mean, one claim. It's round 3 for one, and you're on how many bloody shows? One claim. It's not fucking correct.
Him and Kane are odd cases, because they go on so many shows, and yet they either have takes which we can't prove, or they focus on the analysis, and it's just like, I want someone to make a big future call. Keep making big future calls that we can analyze. Like this is all about making calls for the future, not confirming what we already know in the past, guys.
Yep, bang on. And specifically for the veterans, right? Because look, Josh Money has taken a lot of low hanging fruit. Boys out here picking strawberries. We get it. But at the same time, he's newer to the industry. I'm going to expect Josh to take some of those strawberries. That's life. Gary, mate, you've been in this for decades. Brother, you got the connections. You should be able to come out and say something important to your listeners on the many platforms that you're on.
Where's the big breaking news? Where's the big breakers?
Mate, he was, and look, we don't want to go down the path of calling names and whatnot, but I think he made the least claims on the footy show back in the day. I'm seeing very little claims right now. I don't like it, Gary. I feel like you're on the edge, mate. I'm just saying, get your game up. Anyway, we've got Aaron Phillips here. Look, Aaron's made the one call that wasn't correct. So a bit like Jack here, we just want to get your numbers up. We don't need accuracy from you, Aaron. We just need to get the ball rolling a bit more. You'll get some on the board. Yeah, you'll miss some too, but that's life. You know, you got to do that with life. Kane, same as Gary, mate. Like, put him on the line. Say something. Tell us something interesting. Because you're on all these shows, mate, and I'm bloody watching them so that you say something interesting. And I'm getting fucking bupkis from you, mate. So that's my sprays of the week, right? It's really, it's Gary and it's Kane. Those two need to just pull the fingers out, right? Jack, Aaron, just get your numbers rolling. That's fine. You know, you don't need to be at top of the pops quite yet, but some of these people need to be doing better. Now, going out to the shout-outs again, Josh Money, Mitch Cleary, Cal Toomey, all with a lot of claims coming in with some fair accuracy, especially for Mitch, who's turned it around. Started the season off badly as well. So
yeah, he did.
It's good. It's good to see him kind of get some form back in. But, mate, as we're, coming towards this first month of footy, who's surprised you so far?
Oh, well, I mean, aside from the big one of Josh Money just storming out of the gates and taking everything, Sarah Black's been a pleasant surprise. If you remember, she got her first one wrong with the Matty Rowell call. Said that the finger was no big deal, but she has come back with 3 in a row, all correct, including that ridiculous mid-game. Like, that Tom Brown call was just ridiculous. I cannot believe she picked that.
Brilliant call.
I think once AFLW season comes along, because she's very knowledgeable when it comes to the women's game, I think we're going to see her turn into a bit of a smoky, a bit of a surprise contender.
Definitely. I do think, as a general, we might break up some of the awards. We'll obviously have the Golden GWILT, right? Like the big one, the big boy. But I think we might have a men's season award, a women's season award, an off-season award. We'll come back to these sort of ideas as the season develops, right? Because, if we got a bunch of people on 100%, we can't make 1 million Golden GWILTs. We probably aren't going to get a bunch of people on 100%, but, we're still figuring out some of these rules is what I'm saying. So the claims and confirms and all these sort of things, they still mean a fair bit. Because we're like the AFL here. Haven't figured out these rules. We're going to make some up on the fucking fly. That's us. But I think we're doing all right so far, mate. Otherwise, I've enjoyed this a fair bit. I feel like we've caught up on a lot. We've missed a couple of comments here from Code on the side here. So I do want to say a big thank you for coming in and stopping past, enjoying the evening, chatting some of the bullshit that the journalists chat with us. And yeah, mate, other than that, Gaz, this is my channel. We haven't got too many people left. Click on the little thing that says go to the Gaz-Man channel. There should be a blue thing. If not, Gaz has got a few other things. Gaz, where can we find you?
Yes, generally on YouTube, but also on Twitter as well. Might start up an Instagram. I've been thinking of starting up an Instagram, but also got a Discord as well, which Code Word knows all too well. You've been roaming the halls of that for a while, so there's a few places you can reach out and find my terrible rambling bullshit takes.
Likewise with me. If you've managed to find this place here, I've got a lot of rambling bullshit takes too. So if you've enjoyed me, I'm sure you'll enjoy Gaz. But that is about it for the evening, mate. Unless you've got some last minutes, I think we're pretty much ready to wrap this up.
Yeah, there's no surprises up these sleeves, so I think we're pretty much done, Ski.
Awesome, mate. Well, look, again, I'd like to thank everybody that popped past. whether you've been code from the very start or you've tuned in here and there like Pom did. But either way, thank you very much. We'll see you again this time next week as we are moving to Wednesdays to make life a little bit easier. And we'll see you then. Cheers.